Okay, I see. So, well, again, thanks for sharing. So therein lies the trouble. Gyan ke vishay mein. It does not bring fulfillment, which means it does not bring completion. And obviously, agar prashna ka uttar nahi mila hai, you're still searching. If someone thinks that my search has ended because I have understood that all this is just consciousness, and the purpose of life is just to experience, and that's it, and I don't control it, so then the search should stop. There should be no more question, है ना? जैसे, and I think मेरे आंगन में जो पत्थर पड़े उनकी ऐसी ही गति है. उनकी search stop हो गए. They're no longer asking questions. They're not doing anything. Apparently they must be fulfilled because they're satisfied in the status quo. So there are a few things, few concepts in response to what you're sharing of the question. Experience in itself is meaningless. Is dry, is meaningless. Experience in itself, in the human form particularly, but leave that aside. Experience in itself already exists, if you will. Jaise gyan already exists, knowledge already exists. So what, right? And so the full form of Paramatma is described as Sat, Chit, and Ananda. To say that whatever has always existed, will always exist, and does exist, is the Sat aspect of it. And the question will be, so what's the big deal about that? Usse kya hoga? Usse kya ho raha hai? Well, you'd say, no, it's more important. It's good because it's also chetan, it's also conscious. It's knowledge itself, and therefore it can experience. And so there are variations, there are grades of Sat Chit. जैसे पत्थर पड़ा है और उसमें atoms, molecules है, the electrons are revolving. They already know. The knowledge is there. Nobody's telling the stone कि बस इधर ऐसे ही बैठे रहना है, ऐसे रोल हो जाना, अगर स्लोप हो जाए तो, अथवा उसके अंदर जा कर के नहीं कोई कह रहा है कि you molecules, you rotate in this orbit, this way, that way. All the knowledge is there already, but it's a meaningless life for all of existence. The entire creation, all of cosmos is absolutely meaningless if left at that, even though it is so powerful that इसको कोई destroy नहीं कर सकेगा कभी. It's not possible to destroy. Laws of conservation of matter, right, can be converted from one form into another, but can never be destroyed or created for that matter. और चेतन भी हो जाएगा. It will even become conscious, but still an unfulfilling, meaningless, purposeless जीवन हो जाता है. What does it matter if I even live or die? So what भगवान ने अगर कह दिया है कि ले जा, like you were sharing, कि जा फ्री राइड है, एक्सपीरियंस कर. Well, I don't care to experience. It should not matter. I should kill myself. Maybe I kill others. Maybe just destruction everywhere, or any of that. Nothing will mean anything. There will be no reason, no need for any order, any law, anything. Anarchy. क्योंकि वैसे ठीक है ना, है सत है और चेतन है, knowledge है, बस that's all. Experience ही है. Far superior to both of these combined, infinitely more meaningful, powerful, important is the Ananda aspect of it. Satchidananda ke. There is a purpose behind the existence. There is a purpose behind Chaitanya. It is powered by purpose. And that purpose is the experience of joy, experience of Ananda. And so as you were describing, when a child is playing with a toy and is being happy and is experiencing, but it really is the joy that continues to fuel it, that continues to power it. All over the world, all across the cosmos, there is a reason why the earth continues to revolve around the sun. And it is that force of attraction, it is that hope, and the reception of joy, the reception of warmth and the light, and being held and being cared about, being protected. तो ये जो आनंद एस्पेक्ट है वो सबको मीनिंग देता है, पर्पस देता है. एंड सो It is मेरे अनुभव में, मेरे विचार में, मेरे मत में, it is not that भगवान ने हम सबको बना दिया और कह दिया कि जाओ तुम एक्सपीरियंस करो, फ्री राइड, नो स्ट्रिंग्स अटैच, आ जाना वापस. That is half knowledge, if you forgive me, if you pardon me. To think that God is somewhere, something separate, and He has bestowed, showered upon us some of us, upon us as something separate. It is essentially God alone. That entire creation has become, God has, with the purpose of experiencing His full manifestation. कैसा उसका वैभव है, कैसा उसका सामर्थ्य है, कैसी उसकी क्रिएटिविटी है, क्या क्या. And it's a constantly evolving, it's a continuous evolution of that expression, not the body. Darwin was foolish if he even said that. I think people who came after Darwin said, उसको नाम लगा के इसने ऐसे कहा ये शरीर का एवोल्यूशन है. शरीर का एवोल्यूशन की कोई कीमत ही नहीं है, शरीर की कोई कीमत नहीं है. It's the evolution of the spirit, it's the evolution of the expression of the manifestation, ever so reaching close to the purpose, original purpose. जैसे वो asymptotic curve होता है, that it is always seeking that x-axis, never reaching it but never giving up, infinitely always trying to reach that point, that becoming one with that. I'm confident you remember the asymptotic curve, right? On the y-axis, it's trying to reach the y-axis. On the x-axis, it's trying to reach the x-axis. That curve never ever reaches it, but also never ever gives up. The only purpose is to try to reach that, its own original form, the axis form. ऐसे ही God has curved back in this myriads of forms, in the thousands of species, with the single purpose to experience His own glory. So there is a purpose behind the creation. There is a very, very definite purpose, and that is essentially to beautify, to experience. And in doing that, He has created the tigers and the birds and the worms and the fish, but also the humans. That different species can experience different and experience joy in doing that. The experience that the dolphin experiences, the joy that the dolphin experiences in dancing in the ocean, or the fish swimming, or the earthworm effortlessly being able to go and dig, however, and the tiger in his prowess. But those are limited, those are pre-programmed experiences. Humans, brother, are different from all of those species because our experiences are not necessarily pre-programmed. We bring our momentum of the past lives. जैसे किसी कार चल रही है, and even if suddenly breaks, it's going to go forward to some extent in the same direction that it started. Before it really comes to rest, or before it's able to change the direction, थोड़ा समय तो उधर चलेगी ही. तो उतने समय के लिए that is preordained, to use your word, in the sense that your own momentum, your own trajectory has brought forward. But it sure has the control to slow down, to stop, to turn, to make a turn as well. And so, but that is really only in this one form. This is the exceptional form of human form. Otherwise, we're no different from animals. For us to think कि वे pre-programmed है, इसके कोई इलाज नहीं. And they experience joy. कुत्ते को हड्डी चूसने में जो मजा आता है, वो शायद ही हमको और कुछ चूसने में आए. But that is programmed. That all your past trajectories in past lifetimes, see, that's what you wanted to do. Go. जन्म भर तो यही करते रहे. पूरी and this is described in the scriptures कि what's the purpose behind the tree life form, or the tiger species, or the fish species. Lekin those were unfulfilling. The sum of the total was not adding up to the aggregate as if. And so the human species gives it a shot, gives it a chance that in this form we're able to experience the fullness, the joy of it all. And so what I am suggesting is that it is God living through us, that we're not separate. We don't exist, I agree. Completely agree with that. We do not even exist. And yet something exists, someone exists, it is very unfulfilling and unsatisfactory, and to some degree it's meaningless. It's pointless to say we don't even exist. Then what is all this if we don't even exist? It is right to say we do not exist, but the modified version of it, in my opinion, again, the greater version of it is that God exists through us, God is living through us. It is like saying that the ocean is jumping up and down through the waves. The waves do not exist. It really is the ocean alone through all the 10,000 waves that I see. He's jumping up and down. It is like saying that it is gold itself that is expressing its shine and luster and its nobility through all the jewelry. Jitne bhi pehna. It is like saying that it's the dreamer himself or the dreamer herself concocting through all the different dream characters. And so yes, the dream characters do not exist. That is the truth. But the dreamer does. Gold does, and the ocean does, or the water in the waves does, if the waves do not. So in this case, though, the purpose is to experience the fullness of it, the full manifestation of it, the extent of the creativity and the extent of joy. Ananda is infinite. Satchidananda. The तीनों aspect जो है भगवान के, सत aspect is infinitely powerful. मतलब इसीलिए कहते कि it will never be destroyed. ऐसा कह सकते थे 5 billion years, 3 trillion years, अथवा इतने युगों के तक चलेगा, बाद में नहीं. The simple word used is never. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन. भगवान कहते कभी नहीं मरेगा. मैं म्रियते मरना और न, it's a simple word used, never. So that's an infinite power that it will never perish, it will never destroy, it will never destroy. His Chaitan aspect, his consciousness is also infinite. Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. इसके knowledge की कोई सीमा नहीं है. ज्ञान कितना है? How much knowledge does exist? How big is the body of knowledge? Who knows? Who can measure? ऐसे आता है शास्त्रों में कि जितने सारे बीचेस है ओशन के, समुद्र में और समुद्र किनारे पे जितने बालू के कण हैं, द ग्रेन्स ऑफ सैंड, शायद कोई गिन ले, उसका अनुमान लगा ले, लेकिन कितना ज्ञान है इसकी नहीं कोई गणना कर सकता है. बिकॉज इट्स इनफाइनाइट, इट्स दैट एसिम्प्टोटिक कर्व दैट इट्स इनफाइनाइटली ट्राइंग टू, देयर इज नो एंड टू इट, इन्फिनिटी, राइट. सो इतना पूर्ण है कि उस पूर्ण में से पूर्ण निकाल दो, फिर भी जो बचेगा वो भी पूर्ण है. That's the spirit behind Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, right? Purnasya madaya Purnam eva avashishyate. फिर से बच गया तो पूरा का पूरा है. तो it's endless. वैसे ही आनंद, joy भी infinite है उसमें. जैसे सत्य, जैसे चित्त, जैसे उसकी सत्ता, his power, prowess, सत्ता, सत्ता जिसे कहते हैं might, और जैसे उसका चैतन्य, उसका ज्ञान, वैसे ही उसका आनंद है. In fact, it's the 1-10-100 type of ratio. If his sat aspect, his power is valued, is equal to 1 unit, his chetan is 10 times that. And guess what? His ananda is actually 10 times that, meaning 100 times the power. So all glories of the joy aspect of it, all glories, ultimately the most meaningful aspect of God is his ananda aspect of it. And that ananda is experienced, the greatest, the most intense experience and the most effortless experience of that is in love. That ananda is never experienced as much in just eating, just that free ride that you mentioned, just going on vacation, just buying more clothes, just a bigger car or a bigger home, a bigger name or bigger fame or a bigger balance, any of the bigger body, nothing. Or it is the most intense, the most lasting is experienced in love because it's connecting. Love connects, love, and then we're joining. That alone fulfills God because that was the original purpose behind creation. So for him to try to experience himself. Eko aham bahusyam kada, I am alone, let me be many, let me see what I got. He's trying to see what he's got. And he's still continuing to go to see what he's got. It's unending, it's endless. There is no limit to it. And therefore the expressions continue. और एक स्पीशी एक्सटिंक्ट हो गई तो 10 स्पीशी नई निकलती है समुद्र के नीचे, पर पता चलती है ओ माय गॉड वी डिडंट नो वॉल्केनोज के अंदर लाइव वॉल्केनो में बैक्टीरियाज है और समुद्र में ऐसे इट्स एन एंडलेस साइकिल. एंड सो what brings meaning to life, this is possible alone, at least the known, for as far as currently known in the human species, that we can actually identify our purpose through this spiritual sadhana that you and I are undertaking. We can identify our purpose and we can start living in a way that allows us to fulfill our purpose. Ultimately, that has to go through love. Love alone will take us there. Pure, uncontaminated, motive-free, selfless, agenda-free love alone. Accepting things and people as they are, expecting nothing, cheerfully though. If you expect nothing and accept everything, उसमें क्या बड़ी बात है यार. तो like I said, पत्थर पड़ा है, वो तो expects nothing and accepts everything cheerfully. The stone is not able to be cheerful. It's not able to fully realize its own manifestation. And so ये जो प्रेम का आनंद का जो अनुभव है, when you talk about experience, the real experience, the richest experience, the ultimate experience, the only meaningful experience that brings meaning to existence is the experience of joy, ananda. And the most intense experience of that joy can be had in the experience of love. And that love can be best experienced in giving, not receiving, not taking. While remaining open to receiving whatever is given to us, it's in giving, because that's in our original nature, there's nothing that we need. We're fully complete as we are, fully complete as we are, because God is experiencing through us, God is living through us. And He's all in all, He's the full and complete. So my response to the question of, so what's the point of experiencing, that stage comes because we have not fully, that मेरे मत में वो आधी ही यात्रा है, and that is the trouble. That's where the Buddhist philosophy runs into a challenge, and it's just essentially has no answer to it. Void कह के, शून्य कह के छोड़ देती, कुछ नहीं है, बस कुछ नहीं है. तो कुछ नहीं है का फिर मतलब क्या है? कुछ नहीं है का फिर कुछ नहीं है, मे भी तो है. अगर है तो वो क्या है? It is not enough to say कुछ नहीं है. इसका क्या मतलब है? So, and there's no answer to it. And so you'd have to go beyond just the knowledge, just the gyan aspect of it. You'd have to you'd have to let go of gyan completely, and you'd have to dip in the ocean of bliss, in the ocean of joy, through bringing out the love in you. There is an ocean hidden. If you unleash that, then for the first time you'll live life like you've never lived. It will be Surya Koti Samaprabha कहते हैं. एक सूर्य नहीं यार, 1000 कोटि सूर्य का प्रकाश. Oh my God, you'll be like, what is this? What force is this? ऐसे ही हुआ था अर्जुन को गीता के 11वें अध्याय में जब दिखाती कि अरे अब तक मैं तेरे को हे कृष्ण, हे यादव, हे सखा, हे मेरे मित्र कहता था, वो व्हाट इज़ दिस, ये कहाँ से आ गया इतना सारा. ऐसे ही जीवन में अनुभव आएगा जब पर्पस लाएंगे जीवन में, एंड दैट पर्पस इज अकिन टू अलाइंड विद गॉड्स पर्पस इन दिस. Let me stop there, otherwise you know me, I'll keep going until 5 o'clock. So let me check in to see if you're still there and if it's making any sense.